The Moon, Earth's natural satellite, is the closest celestial body to our planet. Through years of scientific observation and research, as well as multiple manned lunar missions involving direct exploration, researchers have uncovered several artificial features on the Moon. When viewed from Earth, the Moon often displays dark patches, areas scientists refer to as shadow zones. During one such mission, astronauts attempted to drill into one of these zones using electric drills, but encountered unexpected resistance. Despite prolonged effort, they managed to penetrate only a small depth. This was perplexing. After all, isn't a planetary surface typically composed of soil and rock? It may be firm, but not to the extent of being nearly impenetrable. A detailed analysis of the surface composition in that region revealed that it was predominantly made of an exceptionally hard metal, titanium, the same material used in spacecraft construction. That certainly explains its remarkable hardness.
This discovery sheds light on a long-standing mystery that has perplexed scientists for decades. The Moon is dotted with countless impact craters, yet strangely, most of them are surprisingly shallow. According to scientific estimates, an asteroid measuring 16 kilometers in diameter and traveling at 50,000 kilometers per hour would create a crater on Earth with a depth 4 to 5 times its diameter, roughly 64 to 80 kilometers deep. In contrast, the deepest known crater on the Moon, the Gagarin crater, spans nearly 300 kilometers across, but is only 6.4 kilometers deep. If the same asteroid had struck Earth, it would have produced a crater at least 1,200 kilometers deep. Why are lunar craters so shallow? The most plausible explanation is that the Moon's outer shell is exceptionally hard. This theory is strongly supported by previous findings that revealed the Moon's surface contains extremely durable metallic elements, such as titanium, the same material used in spacecraft engineering.
Some bold scientists have put forth a provocative hypothesis. The Moon may not be a natural celestial body, but rather an artificial construct. According to this theory, if the ancient layers of cosmic dust and meteorite fragments that have settled on its surface were removed, what would emerge is a sphere made of hard metal with a hollow core. Below are some of the discoveries and conjectures scientists have made regarding the Moon.
Scientists have identified the Moon as an exceptionally large celestial body, far larger than what is typical for natural satellites. While it is common for planets in the solar system to possess moons, our Moon stands out due to its unusually large size. In other words, its volume is disproportionately great compared to its parent planet. Earth has a diameter of 12,756 kilometers, and the Moon's diameter is 3,467 kilometers, roughly 27% of Earth's diameter. Mars, with a diameter of 6,787 kilometers, has two moons. The larger one measures just 23 kilometers across, or 0.34% of Mars's diameter. Jupiter, measuring 142,800 kilometers in diameter, has 13 moons, the largest of which is 5,000 kilometers, only 3.5% of Jupiter's diameter. Saturn, with a diameter of 120,000 kilometers, has 23 moons, the largest being 4,500 kilometers, or 3.75% of Saturn's diameter. Across the solar system, no other planetary satellite exceeds 5% of its host planet's diameter, except for the Moon, which reaches a striking 27%. This anomaly suggests that the Moon may not be a typical natural satellite.
The Moon orbits Earth at an average distance of approximately 380,000 kilometers. The Sun, by contrast, lies about 150 million kilometers away. When we divide these two distances, we find that the Sun is roughly 395 times farther from Earth than the Moon. Coincidentally, or perhaps not, The Sun's diameter is about 1.38 million kilometers, while the Moon's diameter is just over 3,400 kilometers. This, too, yields a ratio of approximately 395. 395 times. What an extraordinary coincidence! Consider this. The Sun is 395 times larger than the Moon, yet it is also 395 times farther away. This perfect proportionality cancels out the difference in scale, causing the two celestial bodies to appear nearly identical in size when viewed from Earth. Is this phenomenon a mere product of nature, or could it be the result of deliberate design? In a universe governed by chaos and chance, how likely is it for such a precise alignment to occur?
Seen from Earth, two celestial bodies appear almost identical in size. One rules the day, the other the night. Nowhere else in the solar system does such a pairing exist. The renowned scientist Isaac Asimov once observed, "By all available data and physical laws, the Moon should not be there." He further remarked, "The Moon is precisely large enough to produce a solar eclipse, yet small enough to allow the solar corona to remain visible. There is no astronomical rationale for this phenomenon. It is a coincidence within a coincidence." The Moon perpetually shows the same face to Earth. Its far side remained unseen until spacecraft ventured into orbit and captured its hidden visage. But why does the Moon always present the same hemisphere to us? This phenomenon is the result of a precise synchronization. The Moon rotates on its axis at a speed of 16.56 kilometers per hour, while simultaneously orbiting Earth. Its axial spin is unusually rapid, far faster than what would be expected for a body of its size and orbital distance. And yet, the time it takes to complete one rotation is exactly equal to the time it takes to complete one orbit. This perfect match ensures that the same side of the Moon always faces Earth. No other satellite in the solar system behaves this way. Why is the Moon just right? Is this yet another coincidence within a coincidence? Or could there be an explanation beyond mere chance? Astronomers once assumed that the far side of the Moon would mirror the near side, featuring similar distributions of impact craters and expansive lava seas. Yet spacecraft imagery revealed a strikingly different landscape. The far side is rugged and uneven, dominated by small craters and mountain ranges with only a few lava seas. This asymmetry has baffled scientists. Theoretically, as a natural celestial body, the Moon should experience meteoroid impacts with equal probability on both hemispheres. Why then does such a stark contrast exist between its inner and outer faces? Adding to the mystery is the Moon's orbit. While most natural satellites follow elliptical paths, the Moon travels in a nearly perfect circle, with an orbital radius of 380,000 kilometers. Notably, we know that only artificial Earth satellites are designed to follow circular orbits. Seismologists typically study Earth's interior by analyzing seismic waves. In much the same way, scientists have explored the Moon's internal structure using data from moonquakes. American astronauts deployed highly sensitive seismometers on the lunar surface to transmit seismic readings back to Earth. One placed in the Sea of Tranquility by the Apollo 11 crew, and another in the Ocean of Storms by Apollo 12. These instruments were so sensitive they could even detect the footsteps of astronauts on the Moon. On November 20th, 1969, at 4:15 a.m. Central Standard Time, the Apollo 12 crew intentionally crashed the ascent stage of their lunar module into the Moon's surface, triggering a moonquake. The Moon trembled for over 55 minutes. The shaking gradually intensified, reaching peak strength after about 8 minutes, then slowly diminished until it faded completely. The entire event lasted nearly an hour, its reverberations lingering like a celestial echo, haunting and prolonged. During an afternoon television news broadcast, Maurice Ewing, director of the Seismological Institute, conveyed a startling discovery. To illustrate the nature of the lunar tremor, he offered a vivid analogy. It was like striking a cathedral bell. When a solid object is impacted, two types of seismic waves are typically observed: longitudinal waves and surface waves. Longitudinal waves are penetrating. They travel through the object, passing from one surface, through the core, to the opposite side. Surface waves, as their name implies, propagate only along the shallow outer layer. Yet after prolonged monitoring, the seismometers placed on the Moon recorded only surface waves. No longitudinal waves were detected. This unexpected result led scientists to a shocking conclusion. The Moon appears to be hollow. The seismic energy radiated outward across the lunar surface from the epicenter, without penetrating the interior, just as it would on a completely hollow metallic sphere. Such a phenomenon is utterly impossible on Earth. After the miracle observed during Apollo 12, the Apollo 13 crew remotely guided the third-stage rocket of their spacecraft to crash into the Moon. The impact site was carefully selected, 87 miles from the seismometer deployed by Apollo 12 astronauts. The resulting moonquake lasted for 3 hours and 20 minutes before gradually fading. The tremor reached depths of 22 to 25 miles. Such sustained, resonant vibrations are characteristic only of a hollow sphere. Astronauts from Apollo 13 and 14 conducted several additional seismic experiments. The most powerful moonquake recorded caused the lunar surface to tremble for a full 4 hours.
NASA's report, Apollo 16 and the Lunar Surface, reveals that moonquake research has identified a 40-mile-thick, hard layer within the lunar crust. Dr. Werner von Braun noted that at this depth, vibrations traveled at a speed of 6 miles per second, a rate unattainable in ordinary rock. A glance at any physics manual confirms that such transmission speeds are possible only in metal or metal-rich geological formations. The vibration velocity within the Moon closely matches that of metal, leading scientists to theorize the existence of a metallic shell beneath the lunar surface. This shell is believed to be overlaid by a loose layer of fragmented rock, 10 to 20 miles thick. According to Dr. Erde and his colleagues, this debris layer formed over billions of years through repeated, violent impacts from meteoroids, asteroids, and comets. Some researchers have gone further, suggesting that the Moon may be a prehistoric artificial construct. Drawing on all available data, NASA scientists developed a range of lunar models, one of which depicts the Moon as a hollow sphere composed of titanium, a high-purity metal found on its surface.
Scientific studies have shown that most celestial bodies possess magnetic fields, yet the Moon is a striking exception. Earth's magnetic field is believed to originate from its core, which consists of a solid inner core and a liquid outer core. The outer core's low viscosity allows it to flow rapidly, generating induced electric currents that produce a magnetic field. Earth's magnetic field strength ranges from 0.35 to 0.7 Oersteds. Based on the natural remnant magnetism found in meteorites, other celestial bodies are estimated to have magnetic fields around 0.59 Oersteds. This implies that natural celestial bodies, like Earth, are solid and magnetically active, but the Moon tells a different story. According to lunar rock samples returned by the Apollo missions and direct measurements of the lunar surface, the Moon's magnetic field is less than 1,000th the strength of Earth's. In effect, the Moon is magnetically inert. It lacks a core like Earth's. Its interior appears hollow.
Compared to other planets of similar size, the Moon exhibits a remarkably low density, hinting at a fundamental difference in its internal structure and raising the possibility that it may be hollow. Scientists have established that the Moon's average density is 3.33 grams per cubic centimeter, while Earth's density stands at 5.5 grams per cubic centimeter, nearly twice as much. Dr. Harold Urey and his colleagues have suggested that this disparity may result from a void at the Moon's center of mass. Dr. Wilkins, a lunar authority from the Royal Astronomical Society, even estimated in his book, Our Moon, that the Moon could contain a cavity with a volume of approximately 14 million cubic miles.
In the 1976 publication Apollo's Lunar Journey, NASA scientist Lepore Richard Lewis noted that lunar rock samples retrieved by Apollo 11 and 12 astronauts exhibited significantly higher densities than Earth rocks. Lunar specimens measured between 3.2 and 3.4 grams per cubic centimeter, compared to 2.7 to 2.8 grams per cubic centimeter for terrestrial rocks. Yet, under the Moon's weaker gravity, these rocks weighed only half as much as their Earth-bound equivalents. If only the Moon's outer shell is this dense and rigid, does that not suggest a hollow interior? Dr. Solomon, a researcher at MIT, studied the Moon's gravitational field and proposed that its interior may indeed be hollow. His findings were published in an international scientific journal titled The Moon, where he wrote, "Observations from the lunar orbiter have provided us with extensive insights into the Moon, particularly its gravity. These findings strongly suggest that the Moon's interior is likely hollow." Through the lens of modern science, humanity is beginning to grasp the possibility that the Moon may harbor a vast internal void. While it's not unusual to find lava within lunar impact craters, what is truly puzzling is the composition of that lava. It contains significant quantities of metallic elements that are exceedingly rare on Earth, such as titanium, chromium, and yttrium. These metals are exceptionally hard, heat-resistant, and corrosion-proof. According to scientific estimates, melting such elements would require temperatures exceeding 2,000 to 3,000 degrees Celsius. Yet the Moon is a cold, inert body, devoid of volcanic activity for at least 3 billion years. How then could so many high-temperature metals have formed there? Even more astonishing is the discovery made from analyzing 380 kilograms of lunar soil samples returned by astronauts. The presence of pure iron and pure titanium, forms of metal that do not occur naturally in unrefined states. What do these anomalies imply? They suggest that these metals were not naturally formed, but rather artificially refined, which leads to a deeper mystery. Who refined them, and when?
On February 4, 1966, following the landing of the Soviet unmanned probe Luna 9 in the Sea of Rains, a region defined by lunar scientists, photographs captured 2 rows of tower-like structures spaced at regular intervals. Dr. Ivanov Sanderson commented, "They reflect sunlight intensely, resembling runway markers." Estimating from the length of their shadows, Dr. Ivanov concluded that the structure stood roughly 15 stories tall. He noted, "There is no elevated terrain nearby that could have caused these rocks to tumble into place, let alone arrange themselves in such precise geometric alignment."
On November 20th, 1966, the American Orbiter 2 spacecraft, while passing 46 kilometers above the Sea of Tranquility, captured images of several pyramid-shaped structures. Scientists estimated their height to be between 15 and 25 meters. These formations were arranged in precise geometric patterns, and their coloration was noticeably lighter than the surrounding rocks and soil, suggesting they were not natural features. If these sunlight-reflecting tower-like structures were constructed in prehistoric times, then a profound question arises.
What was their intended purpose? Based on the evidence presented, one daring hypothesis emerges. The moon may have been created by a prehistoric civilization. In modern times, humanity has launched countless satellites, most designed for communication, meteorology, or scientific observation. But if an ancient people engineered something as colossal as the moon, what purpose did it serve? Perhaps a clue lies in a more recent endeavor. Russian scientists once envisioned constructing a giant mirror in space to reflect sunlight onto Earth, illuminating the night. On February 4, 1999, 2 cosmonauts aboard the Mir space station deployed an experimental artificial moon into orbit, yet its scale was infinitesimal compared to the real moon. In the July 1970 issue of Sputnik magazine, Soviet scientists Vosin and Sherbakov introduced the provocative spaceship loon hypothesis. They proposed that the moon is not a natural satellite, but a hollow celestial vessel, engineered and controlled by intelligent beings, possibly extraterrestrial in origin. While modern humanity lacks the technological means to clear away the dozens of kilometers of lunar dust that might confirm such a theory, existing scientific insights into the moon's structure and behavior align strikingly well with this explanation. If contemporary scientists can envision constructing a giant mirror in space to reflect sunlight onto Earth, then what reason do we have to doubt that a prehistoric civilization, or an advanced intelligence, could have built the moon itself? Earth is a terrestrial planet, and among all terrestrial planets, only Earth possesses a satellite. This anomaly suggests that the moon may not be a natural satellite at all, but rather an artificial celestial construct. Earth's gravitational pull on the moon is significantly weaker than that of the sun. Yet the moon remains in Earth's orbit, resisting the sun's far greater influence. If the moon were a naturally occurring body drifting through space, it would more likely have been captured by the immense gravity of Jupiter, rather than settling into orbit around Earth. Such behavior challenges the notion of a natural origin. It becomes increasingly difficult to imagine that the moon formed through ordinary cosmic processes. Conclusion: A. The moon was engineered by a prehistoric civilization. It is not Earth's natural satellite, but an artificial celestial construct. B. These ancient humans understood the burdens of darkness and created the moon to illuminate the night skies of Earth. C. The moon began as a hollow sphere forged from resilient man-made metal, smaller in diameter than it is today. Over billions of years, cosmic dust and meteorite debris gradually accumulated on its surface, shaping the moon into the form we now observe. 2 Soviet scientists once advanced a radical hypothesis. The moon is a hollow spacecraft, its exterior deliberately modified to mimic a natural celestial body. Such a concept, they argued, could elegantly explain the moon's many enigmatic features. The theory is bold and controversial. To this day, most scientists hesitate to endorse it. Yet one fact remains difficult to ignore. The moon does not behave like a naturally formed object. It operates with mechanical precision, always showing the same face to Earth and appearing exactly the same size as the sun. Its outer shell appears to be made of a high-strength alloy, capable of enduring sustained, high-density meteorite impacts without significant damage. If the moon were truly a natural body, it would not possess so many hallmarks of artificial design. Scientists have observed that the side of the moon facing Earth is remarkably smooth. The major lunar seas, known as Maria, are all situated on this near side, while the far side is densely packed with ring-shaped mountain ranges.
It's no surprise, then, that the moon reflects sunlight with such high efficiency, glowing brightly in our night skies. If we could rewind time to the moon's primordial state, before its surface was pockmarked by countless meteorite strikes, its smooth face would have gleamed with even greater clarity. One can imagine that on a night in that distant past, the moonlight would have been dazzlingly pure.
Now that we understand the moon consistently presents its smoother face to Earth, while its rougher side remains hidden, one can't help but wonder, was the moon designed to illuminate the people of Earth? If the moon were merely an alien spacecraft intended to monitor Earth, it wouldn't need to be so massive, nor would it require a luminous function. Quite the opposite. Such a vessel would likely be engineered for stealth, not visibility. The idea of crafting a natural-looking celestial body to illuminate Earth through surface reflection is strikingly elegant, environmentally sound, requiring no electricity, and capable of lighting the planet's entire dark hemisphere in a single sweep. Though it may seem fantastical, it's not beyond the realm of possibility. If our technology ever advanced to such heights, would we choose to do the same? And if a highly developed civilization once walked the Earth in prehistoric times, might they have placed the moon in orbit, not as a satellite, but as a beacon to pierce the night? Many of the mysteries that science struggles to explain or hesitates to confront may prove surprisingly simple once we shed the constraints of narrow thinking and apply reasoned analysis. The evidence uncovered by researchers has long pointed to the moon's anomalous origin. So why has this not sparked greater attention or deeper investigation within the scientific community? Because the notion of prehistoric human civilizations remains a scientific taboo. No matter how compelling the data or how rigorous the theory, most researchers refrain from exploring ideas that challenge the foundations of evolutionary doctrine. Yet the pursuit of truth should stand as the highest ideal in scientific inquiry. If we can break free from inherited paradigms, it's not difficult to imagine a future where scientific understanding advances in bold and unexpected directions.